The universe is no longer seen as a machine composed of separate building blocks.
We are nature. Animals and plants and waters and oceans and rivers, everything is nature. So we are one. And so nature is intelligent, nature has spirit, nature has memory. The idea of scarcity is created by the economists. It's not created by nature, it's by the economists. Everything is dependent on each other, rising together and dying together.
The spirit is the breath of life. And that's a biological process. So spirit is not separate from the biology.
Everything is made of everything else. We are made of each other. You make me and I make you. The whole universe takes shape in consciousness. So consciousness is not in the universe. The universe is in the consciousness.
Self-consciousness and ego, the transient consciousness, the core self is a feeling, and the autobiographical self is an idea. And when you mistake this idea for a physical reality, I think that is the ego.
We are in this process of evolution of consciousness. And in that evolution, now we are at a stage where we can see the relationships and the patterns and the network and connectedness. And therefore, holistic picture is a new emerging consciousness in science. Sustainability is a journey of discovery, journey of realization, journey of adventure, journey of truth, journey of consciousness, journey of freedom.
To survive for 2 generations is a tremendous challenge, let alone longer. So I think sustainability is the big vocation for us today.
Sustainability is a way to see that how we can live in harmony with the planet Earth. And we are never going to reach utopia. This journey is never going to end.
Hope is a state of the soul. It means knowing that you do something right, irrespective of the outcome.
Whatever is your role, whatever is your function, whatever is your purpose, I am not the judge. You have been evolved. You exist, and I respect it.
When you remove the hatred and forgive, then that will close the cycle of violence, continuing violence. So it's a healing process. If you want to be healed, you have to forgive.
The spirit lives on in the collective consciousness. When life ends, the process of life ends, and the process of life is cognition. So when life ends, cognition ends. I would say that if you are truly spiritual or enlightened, then there's an unimpeded flow of the breath of life. So there are no obstacles, you're not clinging to everything, you are mindful.
If we can be as flexible as water, we are liberated. There can be no life without water. So in Sanskrit language, the word for life and for water is the same. Jivana. Jivana means water.
Sustainability is not an individual property, but a property of an entire web of relationships. It always involves a whole community. This is the profound lesson we need to learn from nature. The way to sustain life is to build and nurture community.
And cannot justify means. That means that your means must be as good as your ends.
The conventional economic notion of development is very narrow and very linear, and qualitative development is broad and multidimensional.
And we need to heal this craving, this desire to have more and more. This economic growth, every country is sick, psychologically sick. America and Europe and even Mexico and Brazil and India and China, they're all sick psychologically. But they are craving for more and more, not knowing what this more is for. What's the purpose? They don't share, they don't look after everybody. Freedom and limits are complementary. Actually, limits are prerequisite to freedom. Like a river flows freely only within the limits of the 2 banks. The moment those limits of 2 banks are gone, the river becomes not a flow but a flood.
tuvimos a Gustavo Esteva, a Fritjof y a Satish, pues ahora se juntaban las tres S: Science, Soul and Society.
Every living system has the potential to create novelty. Life constantly reaches out to create novelty. And that means every living system develops. Development is a part of life.
These guys clearly are going beyond Wolff and Darwin. They are really reading biology in a different way, putting different emphasis in different things. They are following a tradition that is really constructing something new. And one of the new things that they are presenting is this element of innovation.
If you look at landscape with beautiful trees and river and flowers, and then people will come and say, this is undeveloped land. If you build an airport there, or build a housing estate there, they have developed it. So we have really lost the meaning.
Biologists say living organisms develop. And economists say, I'm going to develop something. I'm going to develop a piece of landscape and build a supermarket.
There is the emergence of something radically new, so new that we cannot see it.
It's really a new kind of leadership, a network leadership that uses power not to dominate people but to empower people.
You cannot give power. You have to recognize the power of women. You have to recognize the power of indigenous cultures.
When the people, the indigenous people all over the planet are saying Mother Earth, it's not just a poetic metaphor. It is just a different form of connecting with Mother Earth. Millions of young people, men and women, that can no longer continue their studies and cannot find any kind of job, no matter what. They are ready to work in whatever they can work, and they cannot find a job.
Universities and schools need to skill people to make things, to produce things, to build things, to be poets. Poiesis word, I call poiesis means making. So we have to turn our people and educate our people to be poets and not consumers.
Entrar en contacto con la naturaleza en comunidad es aliento de lo consciente y alimento del espíritu. Es caminar, conversar, disfrutar, ligar mente, tierra y alma. Trastocar las fronteras y volvernos posibilidad de lo humano dentro del gran sistema vida.
Los pueblos originales saben muy bien de todo lo que hemos estado hablando y hablan del mismo modo, nada más su lenguaje es diferente.
Hay una responsabilidad moral implícita en la búsqueda de la felicidad y un entendimiento profundo que mi felicidad depende íntimamente de la felicidad de los demás.
The broad notion of cognition includes not only thoughts and the rational mind, but includes perception, feeling, behavior, emotions, all of that.
There is no contradiction between spirituality and social work and politics and business and money. If you have determination, the universe has a plan.